We continue the program Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. When at the headline this morning, we will say we get somebody from Statistics Salon for can talk about the midterm housing and population census we just done. When at the program, I want to welcome Abdullah Ibrahima, the National Census Coordinator for the midterm census and Statistics Salon. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning and good morning to listeners.
All right, so they continue with the program Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Well, as people can remember, December 10th, inside last year, 2021, Statistics Salon, we get the responsibility for conduct census and count people all over the country. Then we start the midterm housing and population census, we then call the People's Census, where then been complete the process inside December 23rd, 2021. And earlier this week, they don't start the mop-up exercise, when an opportunity for count people them will be left behind during the census exercise, we then begin inside December 10th last year. Well, for Kangi, we updates about how the census process been go and self the mop-up exercise where they don't begin. Now that's make now the studio this morning. We get Abdullah Ibrahima, when the census coordinator from Statistics Salon for Kangi we updates. Good morning one more time, Mr. Ibrahima.
Good morning.
All right, as I don't give the brief background, December 10th last year, we see Usai Statistics Salon workman them been go all over the country for start the people's census, for count people and for know the exact number of people within the country as governments go use them data then they for proper planning. Just start for give people a general overview of how the people's census being starts during December 10th where the exercise been begin.
Thank you very much. As you rightly say, we will start the process on the 10th of December. We before extend to the 23rd of December. And we'll be start a little bit slowly, and we'll be doing the give press releases on daily updates to the nation. And after we don't end on the 23rd, the 24th, we give an extension to the 30th of December for let's just cover up for the slow start will be get for start. Then on the 31st of December, we don't declare to the end of the 31st of January for law get a mopping up. So that process is there on course now. We don't identify this like digital census. We don't identify exactly areas then we will not get data from where enumerators and not be get for a book for go day 8. And that needing now we server. We don't also form a toll-free line for let people then also call until we say this particular area or this household wanted to be counted because now they right for let them be counted. And what will be happening exactly now this particular census. Now one of the first census in this country where we actually see institutions then we recognize that the country will be go all out and say they want for boycott. So as we enumerators then be going at some communities at the outcast of the community, the edge of the communities, and we get some resistance then. So that be get for scared and off, they able to enter into the community. So the toll-free line now, they tell we people that within the community where they want for be enumerated. So we don't put that in place. Then also we know we be give 30% of voting people then be due after we don't train them for letting go to the field. The one that will select for letting go to the field, 30% of voting they be due. Then also we give 100% of the transportation. Will not be given what you require, what you can give them usually with the train way, not training allowance, and also the transport then where they be pay for going at the training. So we don't put modalities in place now for ensure that we pay them people in there. But specifically we pay in stages. We pay the one that actually we train and we go na the field. Because what we can find out to find some dishonesty with some Sierra Leoneans, we train people then and we give them tablets and take 30% of the money, about 1,500. We know one day ever sync or register on the server. So we get 1,500 people then of Sierra Leoneans we train. We take 30% of the money we then for take for gonna feed. They're not gonna feed and hold on to a tablet. But that we don't really, we just get that record. We not take any action on that yet because the concentration actually now for law get everybody counted in the country. So far now that's so we really depend. We don't identify the areas we people they not go. Now some people then they will already complete their job. So the contract will be given will be say, oh, you complete, we will give you the 70% of the money we left. So as we they pay the training allowances where they start across the country today, then by Thursday we will begin to pay the one that way they don't done their work.
Mr. Baima, we can't talk about the payments of the workman. Let we look at the census proper.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we don't done. What can be the challenges them in the field where una go the where the una workman they be good for make sure say they call people there, because we also be they get calls in a radio democracy where they say they not people they not carry it, so they not carry it, so they don't come to you. Plenty of them their slogan and they been there.
Yeah.
What can be the challenges them?
Well, now, one of the challenges, then that's why I don't tell you. I mean, you get up to about 1,500 people. You don't train them, you don't give them equipment for let them go work. They don't go work. So then areas and people in the course say they not go it. And people then we then take money, we they not ever go to the field. Than I want. Then also the workload will be give people them, though it may really appropriate for them, but just people, Sierra Leoneans, people they be just relax on 10 when I be the festive season. Some I don't do one EA, supposed to do 2 or 3 EAs, they just relaxing or good day. So then really they within the community, but they don't reach out to everybody yet. So what in this mop-ups process get for do now is that people in enumeration areas they will know say people they know they within their communities, and the people that where they don't do they redeploy it and they give them contract for let them do it within 2 weeks. But we extend them to January, to the end of January in case, because how for camper, it's all more pop again. Just after that, we're very sure say we don't complete them.
And so they talk about challenges. Let's take you back to the initial start of the census process.
Yeah.
Not to secret, say a lot of resistance been there from certain communities, and safe police been get for intervene. Some arrests then be made because of people who really resist, say, me, they not for count me and all. Now, when I say they extend this mop-up exercise till the end of January, in a very long period, is it that and then challenges that will be up along the way make when they extend for this long period of time?
Yes, as I say, now one of the challenges, and as you rightly say, in some communities where we enumerators and we just want for enter into the communities and face them resistance, and they so then scared of. I mean, it been so appalling for tell you say some households and the way they go. People that they send water per we enumerators, people that they lock gates and they say when I'm not for enter now. So they scare them off, they're not able to enter into their communities, and they but will not get much control over that as a technical institution. We feel say at least we don't put that to government. We don't say government will try for take an action for appeal to people and say this then they right for letting be counted, and also we don't put a toll-free line. Then communities and they will then resist and still get pockets of people. Then we then think say them for be counted. So they are calling us. So once you call we can send an enumerators. Then we they assign to them communities and say go count their households and yeah. So now some of them things they will try for address.
The initial idea for this whole census, now for not able to get correct data, where governments could use for developmental purposes. Now, from the outcome of the census, it clearly they should say it not be done successful. Statistics not able don't get at all in data there. So the success of the census now be a challenge. How now na go make sure say during this mopping up exercise where they end on the 31st of January, we're able to go out there to communities, appeal to people, let them see reason say this census na people's census, and if we allow them come to them for the benefit of the Salone people then.
Well, and the idea of success actually for we own understanding and from what we do, we feel say actually we progress steadily, which is really good, because what we do the dashboard, the reality. What we do the dashboard, it tell we say, I mean, we don't call it up to about 68 to 75% of the population will not be the targeted population. And within this targeted population, we Statistics Sierra Leone, now we've been conducting the 2015 census, and the population of the 2015 census, they give we projections. The projection where they give it to 2022 now put at the back of the dashboard, so that 9 will be we target, we're at 8.something million. So we don't collect up to 70% of that population. So we really would progress steadily. But we still appeal to people and say these are the people's census. And we actually bent on counting everybody. So we wanted people they really open up their communities that where they don't resist for one or two reasons, let them open up. And the good thing is we also don't see stakeholders, now then resistance communities, and the way they say they go now the air and tell people and encourage people and say let them actually come out and allow we follow let them be counted. So hopefully after the end of the mopping up for don't able for capture at least 90 to 100% of what will be planned for do.
68 to 75% of the population already, according to you, una don't able for capture. But concern dey, but area them where people they don't resist, they don't go allow for make una count them. For the benefit of listeners, then which area then so you think say resistance be there?
Well, and absolutely, as people, Freetown, the western, rural, and urban. Actually, we dashboard we don't see up to about 50% of the population actually. So which means, I mean, within the western urban, a lot of resistance and with the getting reports and the daily report from enumerators, and when people in the good area and they allow them for let them be counted. You get some outcast of Lumley area where they know the if you allow we enumerators then for let them enter. I don't know whether not Kanike or wherever. But people they don't they call winner inside and now. We get places then by Ferry Junction where they go up by the mountain area where they know they even allow it and they drive with enumerators then with cutlasses.
But what you wanna find out saying are they using for this?
And as I start by saying this now one of the first census system where we see say institutions that we credible, we actually go on here and pull out posters, the political institutions.
Okay.
We get COP, I don't know the meaning of COP, then we also get even the and political parties not in government and actually put a signboard and paste down on the walls and say not to be counted.
So that
kind of concept we actually go out to people and people they misunderstand and say, I mean the census, we as technical institution we get a different and plan for conducting midterm census.
We don't see this coming because I remember the last day again we'll host you. I ask you the same question about consultation because the institution there where according to you they resist the census. They don't they raise concerns say statistics salon not be able for consult them or engage them through the entire process.
And the last time also I've been telling you say we actually consult. I mean, where the president give you the mandate for we conduct the midterm census, we put together committees, them, one of which is the advisory committee, where they supersede all other committees, and then committees, and they get all political parties involved. We be done, they call them to meetings, we give them an update, and the advisory say, go ahead for do this. So they attend the meetings, then they will not just know now which side the break off actually come up almost at the tail end of the time we will try for go for data collection. But in terms of consultation, we actually be on the consult.
All right, continue for the in the program. In name na Abdullah Brahima, in the census coordinator. They come out statistics salary. They give you updates, but the census exercise which is done and they don't begin the mopping up exercise. We go on through January and then go tap January 31st.
We already bring this Wednesday edition of the program come to you, Mina Asma James.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
And at the program, we still get Abdullah Brahima, National Census Coordinator for the midterm census and statistics salon. This morning, they will talk on the successes, challenges of the midterm census we just done. Earlier, among the challenges, them you talk about una workman them, we una train, then get the iPad them. They're supposed to go na the field and go do the work, but they're not sure na the different. I'm not going to say this one a rather unfortunate for let somebody hold actually say go na the field in Ogode. But how not be able for select some people there so and why you think say they're not going to the field for go do the work?
And the selection process being so open, we get the council when now they oversee the activities of statistics really, and I didn't get the mandate actually for employ. So what we've been do was that since this get for deal with questionnaire, long questionnaire, we put a way for interpreter. So we say a lot of trained people then at district level. So just in case, I mean, you didn't limba or you didn't carry you want for interpret the questionnaire in your local language, you also be able to get the ability for do that. So put out advertisement, people then apply, people they even recommend people, credible people. But I think the misconception was that, the past census is when I be paper-based census. Somebody can just can opt it, take their job, then this until go sit down and host, it fill in the information. Unlike this one, if you hold on to the tablet not even open to you until you go now enumeration area and go now the household before the questionnaire they come up now the waiting set. So it's unfortunate for them. First, they come with the perception say they can able beat the system, because they engage some of them actually we know say they engage permanently in some other activities. So when they get the 30%, they're not able to manipulate. They hold on to the 30% of the money we'll give them. Then they hold on to a tablet. So with the appeal to them people then they do please. I mean, you don't take with 30%. You hold on to a tablet. We not tablets then we actually borrow from Kenya. At the end of the exercise, we get for credit and go back again.
Who said
So
over 1,000 workmen they had now? Who said them people they workmen they had now?
Waiting happen where they take with tablets and get a tablet issuing form where they give you fill them, you put all your details into that form then even where they take with tablet, where they snap you. So once you don't snap you, your details they on the system. So then we get the addresses and also the telephone numbers. But then are just the basic dishonesty but Sierra But that's not to really too much of we own concern now. Now is this time mopping up process. We don't identify them people and they on the system, and we want to let them know say then they on the system. We know they will get 10 telephone numbers. We they concentrate on actually covering areas that will not cover during the census yet.
Apart from there, enumerators they always say take the tablet and not show the timeliness of the entire census. Now beyond we been get big question training of enumerators them the preparedness from owners and institutions that SL. Now be one again we get big question. You see, you say at the 11th hour of the census, donor partner them back out of the entire process. See, they're not going to be part of them again and all. Timeliness of this census, Mr. Bremer. Now the way people then don't ask question, but you know, if it's in a then they make stumbling block or people and they resist the process.
And Khadija, and one thing also we get for own, as a nation and also as Africans. Sometimes, I mean, we get for work with donor partners, but we get for try for guide we say for let them know say, and it's we competent for actually do something. Like for what they try for say is at the nick of time. I mean, they will say press release from the bank where the bank get for tell we say the then think say the census go overlap with the and the festive season, and again we not get sufficient time for really train people then for let them administer the questionnaire who they administer. Then I be their own concerns them. But these are the people then we then look at the cartographic or the preparedness. They even rate we say we are 98 or 99% for say when I don't identify all the areas and they will not go book for go count. And we tell them say traditionally in Sierra Leone all censuses then hold on the conduct now within December. So just give us the time we will actually get. We don't know which side people then they will able to count them. So that will be the disagreement. That'll be just over time. But as it goes, so definitely the dashboard they show say one the time who they use for administer the questionnaire it is show on the dashboard, which shows good. That means the training time was sufficient, or also the training material has been sufficient for letting people they understand actually what thing will be intended for training them for. And we also get other international organizations that will all be done into this, like the ECA. Then don't they call and tell we say your dashboard look good, your dashboard look good.
So how about the training of enumerators? The way now be one of the things that they highlight, and people will be they follow the exercise. You be they see some of their enumerators they are so give the iPad them, but they make videos of them, post on a social media for show say they really not be the work. They don't even know how to operate some of them iPad they are wanna be give them.
And the training, Khadija, as I don't say, the training actually will be reflected on the performance in the field. You don't see say the one they will train, where then they administer the questionnaire. From the time we then start, the time we then they use for administer the questionnaire be a little bit higher.
Now it
reduce, yes, it reduce as we go on. So the field performance definitely in terms of administering the questionnaire for law get also the data on the dashboard is very, very good. But we'll get detractors, just like I say, there are people who sometimes go power with training, they be getting you different intention.
It's very good, Mr. Bremer, according to you. But why the day where the census supposed for start? it not be able for start actually because the enumerator they also be they get issues with the material they're supposed for use.
And not to the last time where I've been in, I also been get for talk and not to be saying that the materials wouldn't be forget for work. The tablets then be there, the power banks then be there. What thing we get for be one of the challenges then have been the payment of the 30% to them because how we don't they operate even with the bank is that we know they allow Statistics Sierra Leone for let we take money and pay out to people. So also we government they fund the data collection, we government transfer the money to the commercial banks. The commercial banks they send the money to the different districts, then let people then collect. There are some districts then we not even get commercial banks. So they get for feed from something one of them major districts then for let them go pay. So then they be cause some 1 or 2 delays, not to be anything for get for do with the material, so then they work up it.
Well, if you did listen to the program, you did listen to Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. And at the program, we get to Abdullah Ibrahima, National Census Coordinator for the midterm census. They talk about the census we just done. Now, not to secret say the census really gets challenges. And one go and say the census process like postpone like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
Where did they expect say all the challenges they have to for don't they solve before the actual census start. But with all this now, what are the new plans them we wanna put together from what you say 68 to 75%, now I don't do, but the target's 100%. What are the new plans now for make sure say when I get the balance for make everybody be counted in the country?
Firstly, this now a digital census, so we don't identify areas and we enumerators not ever send data. That means they have not been covered. We don't identify that. Then secondly, we don't also identify areas then, enumerators and supervisors. We don't complete their work. So this week we they pay the one that they don't complete their work and then they express willingness for let them be redeployed. So we give them fresh contract again for let them go to them places and they. But on top of all that, we appeal to the nation for let people them actually where they be resist. Because resistance has been one of them challenges and the people the way they be resist. Let them just open them doors. Let we enumerators then count them. These are the people census. This is not the first time we actually collect this kind of digital tied census. I mean, you collect data information where it actually tied to GPS coordinate, which is also good for a country. So you finally people then participate into it. The technical work we don't do. As you say, we've been careful postpone 1 or 2 times. The preparation for digital census, it can take a bit longer, but the data collection and analysis is almost short. That are the difference between the paper census. Paper collection preparation short, but it take longer time for long to come up with a result. Now that we don't take with time, we don't develop the application, people need to collect data and send the data on the server. And the server from the dashboard, it don't begin even, we can able begin do some calculations. We don't begin see some tables or whatever. So by February, mid-February, at least we can able for come up with a preliminary report. Let people then actually give us the chance for us to do this for this nation.
How much should I use the media, both in our Western area and the rural community, for make people then get enough information of this census?
And as coordinator, what I know of is we set them committees. We've been getting a media committee. We get a director of communications and statistics Sierra Leone. And we do sensitization. Now, all of the districts then for tell people then say this midterm census they come, even before they do cartography. Then also the director of communications we get for set up what they will call DPOs, the district publicity officers. We also sign some MOUs also with some other radio stations and televisions. So then they go on. I'm not going to say it will still be sufficient, but we actually try for put some modalities in place for educate the public on it.
Now, taxpayer the money una use for conduct this entire exercise, and now the first phase, if I can say, of the exercise done. We now the counting process. When I don't start the mop-up process, as an institution, we wanna monitor this whole exercise. You go on for tell the taxpayer them wanna use the money, then say wanna really don't get value for money.
We're very mindful of that actually as an institution, and now we try for still follow up the and procedures and we'll be get for do payments. so that checks them for day within anything day, because we very know say as an institution at the end of this whole exercise we say get for be accountable. So we ensure that money no the kind of statistics Sierra Leone. Money they go na the commercial banks. We give list to commercial banks. They pay them people there. So at the end of the day, the NSSA get responsibility for retire. And we also can put modalities in place for law make sure say we do things well. Like for instance, I will tell you what make yesterday we're not able for pay the training allowance. Is that we take a decision at management level, say the training allowance law appear in phases. Because we find out, say, people in the way they be take 30%, they're not gonna feed. So if person they way now 1,500 of them, they take 30%, they're not gonna feed. If we left the training allowance open so no more, they will still resurface for letting them can't collect their money then they. So for them, we not get for allow them force for letting them take training allowance. That's also a savings on the part of Stats SS. So if we do mopping exercise, we just think say some of them money then we can divert them to their activities and they will try for do. So very mindful saying that taxpayers' money will they use.
It seems as if there's an issue with payments to staff them. You keep mentioning that. And also yesterday, we've been they get calls who say workman they say they didn't have our office because we are not pay them. Which we are supposed to pay them. So give me the clear picture of payments, this payment business.
Mrs. James, the clear picture is we, as we rightly say, this na taxpayers them money, this na salon money. We therefore be very careful how we use them, and we don't get with lessons learned from the time we try for deploy. We can't find out say people then just go get the money and then for do the work. So the training allowance, what we been tell them was that the bank holidays, they will be supposed to pay them on Friday. But because of the holidays, the banks they be overwhelmed, they're not able to pay them. So we say we'll go pay them on Tuesday.
But how somebody go work without payment?
No, we don't pay them. This not be training allowance. We don't pay them. We don't pay them 30%. So they get money for gonna feed. We don't pay them 100% of the transportation for move within the EA. So we don't pay them that one day. This not be the training allowance. One pay now. They will pay the one day where they don't done their work then 70%. But as I tell you, Khadija, we also get supervisors when a part of the management of this entire process. We tell them, say, well, give us list. We not say give a list of enumerators where you feel say they actually active now in supervisory areas and where we will pay them training allowance because one pay without them dinner the feed. Right. You gonna be surprised for no say they overblow students in a day. Now say no, do this. Let's just check on the server. We want to give responsibility to Sierra Leoneans for letting them do things properly. We check on the server, we begin to see discrepancies. Now, Mr. Self came out yesterday with the megaphone and tell them, say, these are some of the things we don't find out. We don't want to put money again at the wrong people in their hands. If we go by the list, they will not don't provide. By the time they get to the middle of the list, the training money don't done. Then people then will duly they work. Will appreciate. They're not able to get their money. So we don't put their modalities in place. We worked last night up to about 12 o'clock. We don't actually get with data now from the server, the one the way the tablets they don't register with the server. So then listen, they will send out today to the districts and for let them effect payments because the money then in at the banks then now.
We'll come back to you, Mr. Bremer. In case you just tune in the program now, Good Morning Salon, and you be listen to Abdullah Bremer in the census coordinator from Stats SL. It a give updates about the census exercise. But before we come back to Mr. Bremer, still inside concern them we get for do with the census we been begin inside December last year, outside them been start the people census for counts different people them and then they employ enumerators them we they be supposed for work part of this exercise. But according to Franklin Bremer, we be the talk for Seka in other company enumerators them we then be get concern. He said now statistics alone not pay the for them transport and training allowance. He talk this way, he be talk to Cherno Jallo, but some of the concern them we didn't get.
We don't do a done job when I training for make we start this particular process. We don't do this training and we expect so we forget with training allowances. We not get them. We are in comprises of transport and the training allowance. So they end up for say we say they go give you 30% of the money that now inside 510 before the course they start when I be the 9th. That now with the 70%. I would say everybody become annoyed over the situation, but because this is Sierra Leone and we home tour, we not get no side for one go. We tell them, say, we go for the job. We decide for going to field and start the work on the 10th. We start the work, we go on, the work still they go on. But there are difficulties what we get because you're not going to become a worker. We are in the expect, see, things the way in our opportunities for go around this job, you know, we they expect. Forget sticker for putting at the house where you don't do for work, you know, the bag will be expect that. Even cap and then t-shirt for identify you more. Yeah, it was not there. And we not even get, and even go to the training what we do. You can't believe it now. We'll be the photocopy paper them where we're using at the place, which is undone. But we appreciate them because we are working for Mama Salon. But now, we don't do that job. What about others who decide not to do the work? Now, training allowance and transport. Now, the money that they will call for. They not forget them. They all forget them. We all forget them. So, we even the 30% we then give now 1,470,000. We then give we as the 30%. We don't use the money then they don't done because somehow the way they go, you can't believe it. Now you call even people and forget the information. Some people will not in our house. We all get the tab, not top up, not the inside the tab. We expect that we ask your facilitators, they not give you any information about that. We not get top up. Inside we tabs them. Then we they use the GPS. That's what they use, we own phone, we own bonify money them. A call for? No. There must be a provision for that.
The training, won't have been good to go for us. Okay. When this training be happening, and almost what they expect forget.
Now 10 days training will happen. Then now inside November this training happen. So we be expect a huge amount from this stuff. All of a sudden they can't tell we say now 30,000 for training per day, 30,000 for transport per day, which raise up to 60,000. We multiply to 10 days and they give something like 600,000. Okay, we not get no voice over the internet. We accept. We accept say we want the money. We not get problem with that. And that not the money we come for today because the 23rd of December. Then tell we say we go get this money. Then tell we say they get this money. We not get them take Christmas pass. Then begin tell you about facilitators for give out list, group leaders for give out list, everything. And you look at them, people then they were responsible and we get picking them, we get responsibilities them. Them money there and get used to them.
Okay, so before I take up this job, there must be some terms and conditions on our agree to. What not be the terms and conditions?
Thank you. When we start this job, first of all, we forget a contract letter. You can't believe it. Census nights at the time they pay we not even get we contract letters then. I get me contract letter is it the 21st or the 20th? Well, I get me contract letter. And up to now, you can't believe it. Me contract letter do with me because we can't hire within the month of December. We can't hire for the same contract letter. Then tell we say paper don't do na the office there for photocopy. Inside the contract letter, then protect themselves much. Talking about the pad, say a what more than we money, something like that, so that they pay we. So you misplace them with the power bank, it's over. They're not getting no other money for you again. If you even go to the point of you pay another extra money for them. Okay, we get challenges then at the field where everybody they get them. Attacks and other thing. We all on decide say we are doing it for Mama Salon. Give we waiting our we own. May them give we this money. They don't promise we. Okay, una we don't say una they give we them all that time there. Una not give we. Say then why una not go give we.
So when are we expect the 600,000?
We be expect them before Christmas.
As you say, when are we expect this money before Christmas? A week or so, don't go by now.
Yes.
Still don't get this money.
We not still get them now. We just come for again.
So now what the work done?
The work be done. The time fixed be done. The fixed time be done. Then they extend them to the 30th where the work for done of December. It done. But there are many undone jobs in the. Like me when they talk to you, so I don't know me one EA, now the other one are they on right now. But me I not tell you like, are they down? And an empty bag can't stand. I not go on field, I not get nothing.
So that's why we expect this money from the 25th of December until now still not getting money.
We still not get it.
What now move towards statistics? Now we don't ever engage the authority with concern.
When you come there, you know they get no voice from anybody.
The 4th of January, I will still not get this money also. If in case we are not getting money for the next 2, 3 or 4 days, we will continue the work.
Well, that lies the question now. If they want me, we continue the work. I believe I say they please somebody.
So now must we talk about pandis? We still not get the money.
Now we not get this money. We all wait and pick for this job. We all not get this training allowances.
So if we're not getting money by today, what will be the next step?
Well, what will be the next line of action until we depend behind them till we get to money.
If we not get to money, no work.
If we not get to money, we not believe for say job go be done because I not even get transport for go. Okay, now Adeya. Now I get for from when they drop me state police, I take care because I get a reserve of 2,000 for return of meals.
The message to accompany them and self statistics.
Well, the only thing where I tell them, we don't come here and make we get a patient until we get the rightful information from whosoever we get them from. From there, we can able to take another step. But if we not get the rightful information, then we can go back to the drawing board and get something tangible. We can tell them again.
All right, in name now Franklin Brimer, and in a being one party enumerator, them way statistics salon been take for do the census exercise. If they talk to Cherno Jallo inside the interview, they also if they outline concern them way see any company enumerators then get for sicker than transport and training allowance, where according to say now statistics salon or give it, and they be assured and say by the 25th of December last year then go get them salary. Well, we get Mr. Breman at the studio. We will just start for address some of them concerned and the way Mr. Breman again make inside the interview day.
Yes, and I listened to the audio actually as Yeri all waiting and is it Mr. Jallo? Franklin Brimer actually talking at the waiting say, but then I think say he do this interview before I talk to them. Yesterday, yes. Yeah, what I mean, it do one before me they come out now for actually talk to them. Or we don't talk to them, then say self understand clearly, then just match out, then go and they go get their money today. Because what thing can happen, actually, Khadija, is we just tell them, say, we want for filter out the one the way they don't do the training, where they don't dinner the field. Now, the more we really concerned about, nobody no go to work for you, as they rightly say. He say you no get transport now. We want for giving them training money, but people then they can't crowd back now the place where they do the training. We give them tablet, we give them 30%. They're not gonna field. Why you want back again for law give you this training money? What you been training for? Now before the work, we're not training for let you go by any competition. You train, you don't take 30% of your money. You're not going to feed. So we're not going to give you that training money. So I come yesterday, I talk to them, I tell them, say, be patient with us. We'll not be able to pay on a Friday, not to be with faults now because of the Boku holidays, the money then at the commercial banks, then at the districts, then for pay una until we give this to commercial banks, then at the districts, then would then for pay. Allow we for law filter out. And as I really talk, honestly, I did not statistics yesterday, start the office yesterday with the internal audit people them and the human resource. We did it till 12 midnight. We don't filter out who that they actually due for the training money. As we come on now, so we authorize the commercial banks and across the country for let people then go get their money. Where you go, you come, you name it on the list. That means you have been working. We give you training money. The one the way they don't train, where they take with tablets, they're not going to the field. Then we don't tell them, say, we not can collect on our training money. Now we office. So logically, you say, can't tell we say, we train you, you take 30% of your money, you're not going to feed, then you can't take training money back again. So when you can office now, we can know what we will talk. So please let them be patient with we. As I talked to them yesterday, they don't patient. We don't filter out the one that will know they pay the training money at this morning. So then training monies then will be paid across the district. In fact, what we will do now is, because we don't actually delay, we don't pay them Friday, we will not pay them Friday, we don't pay them Tuesday yesterday. We don't involve other commercial banks that we did and some other districts. So not only Sierra Leone commercial banks, then Sierra Leone commercial bank will transfer some money to the other commercial banks that we did and the other districts then for just let them do these payments.
So during this mopping up exercise they go on so now. Waiting statistics salon go say to people within an area that like Juba, Godrich, Tembe Town, Hill Station.
We don't get
where they're not able for constate.
They tell them, say, let them be patient with we. When they do the training payments today, then by Thursday, the one they way na 70% where they don't done their job, as Brian said talk on the contract be tied to completion of job. The one that they don't complete their job, we give them 70%. Then we don't identify them. We give them fresh contracts for care and good areas where people then deliberately be abandoned. So once that is done, we tell people then please we open our communities to we for let us go and count now. You way say you don't want for count, you don't want to be counted. Please don't misbehave. Not saying what happened, you come in Sierra Leone where they go for go count you. No lock gate, not take my cutlass for them. If you don't want to be counted, please just stay cool. That's your own business. But allow other people within the community for let them be counted. So definitely by the weekend, that deployment across the country, with the pan announce that deployment will be done. We give them the contract and they will begin work. And we will do robust monitoring for law ensure say within 2 weeks we don't cover all the areas and the communities and we will not be able for cover.
Whose modalities we don't put in place for make sure say the one the way they go back now the field, not like the over 1,000 way take tablets, but not gonna feel.
One of which is the one excessive where they don't work for, where they don't complete. From the dashboard, we'll be able to identify the one that way they're efficient. And even when you're efficient, with the ask you back, you're willing for them to be redeployed. Once you say you are willing to be redeployed, we'll get a contract to give you the contract to give 30%, we'll give you 100% of your transportation, you go there. And this time around, we say get for the monitor now at EA levels.
So when I go for
civil society, journalists, or within self parliamentarians, follow actually make sure say we get this work done within 2 weeks.
All right, I'm not a strategy when I don't put in place. I forget it online.
Yeah.
Outside people, you will call if you want to be counted. So explain the process to Fambul.
And the process is we get QCell, AfriCell, and Orange, where they don't give you a toll-free line where anybody can call 881 on it. Where you call on them.
881?
Yes, 881.
Okay. On any of the
lines that I don't show you. So if you get any of the networks, then you can call 881. Then somebody go pick and ask you what's in the issue. What's in the issue? You go pick and ask you what's in the issue. The issue will be who say you day, if you have been enumerated, if you don't get challenges, and that kind of thing.
All right. So anybody where the enumerators they not been go now in place during the December 10th or the 23rd census, if you call a particular line day, you go able to get somebody the answer to give the necessary information. All right, continue for the routine of the program. Abdullah Ibrahima in the census coordinator and statistics salon. We still get Abdullah Ibrahima in the census coordinator from statistics salon. It only give you updates from the December 10th census where they begin for count people. So the term way been done, and now they don't start the mopping up exercise. We go end January 31st this year. And they say people who they not be able for count inside the December 10th census, they go able for capture them now inside this mopping up exercise. So now I don't start the mopping up exercise or they try for sort other administrative issues. Then we get for do payment, for redeploy the enumerators them back in various communities them. For ensure say they capture people where they not be able for capture. So after all this exercise, waiting on a projection for let the salon population go reach to.
And well, we will get a projection after we don't determine the population, but actually waiting they at the back of the dashboard and the projection with 2015 GIWI. 2015 population GIWI projection till to 2030. So 2022, the projection where they give will be 8.5 million. I no more put behind with dashboard, and now they work towards it can be more, it can be less. So now they work. So now after we don't determine the population now, then this census become the baseline census that we can give projections of the population for the next years.
So with all the challenges then where this particular census they get so challenges with enumerators, administrative one them and other one. Statistics salon certain say we're not able to meet this projection of 8.5 million people.
Khadija, with the count, the challenges and I think they will be able to overcome. This now we get up to about 15,000 staff then we in the field within the work. So if you get something less than 1%, we they feel disgruntled. We don't think they would handle very well.
About the enumerators then now,
yes.
Even the people they will be part of the process. So for all because also the first thing is statistics salon don't conduct a census. 2015 I do the same thing. The corporation we then tend to do with now if far different. I make her they ask if the people away on they count, not own up the process. On sure say on go meet this projection.
So now they say so the enumerators they own onto the process. This way they happen so now within Freetown because they're very closer to head office. Not that we're not concerned about the one that we're in up the provinces. Throughout this Christmas period with enumerators and supervisors they need work. So we very know say they're committed and we too don't commit to say we'll do for them. Definitely we'll get for them.
All right, so the toll line is still on the toll line.
Yeah.
Because I try for call, the line and is not reachable. So what's in the happen if somebody call now the phone on your own?
Well, and the toll line, I think that from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. we get 2 shifts where they work on that one day. We then kick in the morning, then done, then in the afternoon. People then kick and they go to and 9 p.m. So we're then at the studio, so I don't think say it on 9 o'clock. So I don't feel say the 2 free line actually open up because our staff then within the work then say get for come around day. We know they expect say people then will begin call we but counting or waiting say before 9 o'clock.
All right, so una sure
Say
of
a day.
a day and a day work.
A
And
day.
how often people they call the line?
It's so fast. People them just minute after minute. People then they call, and that don't really, as a statistical institution, we be need for put this also in place for law assess people their willingness to be counted in our communities and will not be able to go because of boycott, because of hindrances. Now we don't get them calls and the people in the call we say, but me right, I want to be counted. I remember yesterday where somebody called me say since in born she is 67 now. One day nobody no counter. I don't give you address. They don't also give you a number, so we get for counter.
All right, the deployment of una staff them, na community them. How una did one somebody like if me come out Kisi for example. Now somebody will come out Kisi una they deploy there.
Yeah, now so we do initially. Somebody will come out from we recruit people that will come out from and Bombali, for instance, we come out Bo, now so we do. But now this redeployment for mopping up, we really appeal to them for mix up. We really look at people with efficiency. For instance, if we find out say somebody did a Bo or did a Bombali, we don't done any efficient, we can bring them to Freetown for like
Now territory where the person not sabi. You go carry deploy and a territory where not sabi.
Well, you even decide where they go. You don't need for sabi the territory. Sorry, you don't need for sabi the territory. The map they inside the tablet where it direct you exactly around who's I get for move and collect your data. So that is not to a barrier.
Thank you very much. Abdullah Brahma, the census coordinator from Statistics Salon. Every day with me this morning, they give updates about the census process, outside they don't cover, and outside life, and self updates about the mopping up exercise. So if you know, say they're not being counted during the census process, now for ensure, say, the enumerators they will go na your community, then count you during the mopping up exercise so that Statistics Salon go able to get correct data of Salon people we they na the county where government go use for development purposes. Now they end the program. Good morning, Salon. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kuhlman then produce the program. DJ Ahmad give it technical support. Usman Kamara and Moses Kavora and they make una watch we live on with Facebook streaming. Mina Khadija Bangura, the wishing all a blessed day.
Well, me ask my James, they wish you all the best. Let we wear we green, white, and blue, put we flag and support with the Leo Stars as they left for go Cameroon. The first match against Algeria, we wish them all the best. Well, goodbye.